In our lives of today, there is human communication, and there's a lot of theory and study toward it. In this video today, we are going to be talking about 10 different theories that have applied to my life. Hi, I'm Brett Lark, and I will be teaching you a lot today about human communication. Enjoy!
Theory number one.
Our first theory we are going to talk about is symbolic interactionism of George Herbert Mead. According to page 54 of the Communication Theory textbook, symbolic interactionism isn't just talk. The term refers to the language and gestures a person uses in anticipation of the way others will respond. What this means is signs, gestures, eye movement, anything other than verbally speaking is what humans tend to have more of a reaction to. Here's an example.
Okay, class, pick your partners.
You want to be my partner?
Okay.
Why did you throw your hands up?
Look, I'm sorry. I'm just really uncomfortable with you picking your nose, you know?
So do you want to be my partner?
Sweetie, how much people are in this class?
Okay.
As you can see, because of symbolic interactionism, she reacted to my hand gestures when I threw my hands up because I didn't want to be partners with her because of her picking her nose made me uncomfortable. Proof that symbolic interactionism is a good theory and does exist.
Theory number two.
Our second theory is called the expectancy violations theory of Judy Bergen. The textbook on page 82 reads, Bergen defined personal space as the invisible, variable volume of space surrounding an individual that defines the individual's preferred distance from others. Bergen claimed that the size and shape of our personal space depended on our cultural norms and individual preferences, but our space always reflects a compromise between the conflicting approach avoidance needs that we as humans have for affiliation and privacy. To interpret this, it means we as humans have personal space preferences and everyone is different according to their culture and according to their individual preferences. When we violate that space, it becomes an issue. Here's an example. Oh my god, I love this music video. He's so hot. We're like best friends.
I know, same, me too. Okay, too far.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't like that?
No.
Personal space issues?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That was a clear expectancy violation because I put my head on her shoulder, which was a violation of her own personal space, which was the expectancy violation of itself.
Theory number three.
The third theory is called social penetration theory of Erwin Altman and Dennis Taylor. According to page 98 of our textbook, the depth of penetration is the degree of intimacy. Although Altman and Taylor's penetration analogy strikes some readers as sexual, this was not their intent. The analogy applies equally to intimacy and friendship and romance. Translated, this means when we disclose information, whether it be to friends, significant others, anybody, depending on the situation, what we disclose can be good or bad. If you want an example of bad, here's an example.
Okay, class, to understand today's theory, what's your favorite TV show?
Keeping Up the Kardashians, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, for sure.
What do you like about it?
I just like their fashion and their makeup.
I mean, sex sells, duh.
Okay, thanks.
Oops.
Yeah.
In this theory, I disclosed too much information about my opinion on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Therefore, that was a social penetration because that's a public sphere, not a more personal sphere like a home.
Theory number four.
Our fourth theory is uncertainty reduction of Charles Boger. According to page 108 of the textbook, central to the present theory is the assumption that when strangers meet, their primary concern is one of uncertainty reduction or increasing predictability about the behavior of both themselves and others in their interactions. Interpreted means when strangers meet and they want to be friends, or they just want to make things less awkward, they find common ground to lower uncertainty issues. Here's an example.
Route 16. Walmart, please watch your step.
Oh my gosh, is that the TARDIS?
Oh my gosh, yeah, you watched Doctor Who?
Yes! Oh my gosh, girl, we got a lot to talk about.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I love that show.
What do you think of David Tennant?
So cute.
Oh my god, what would you do if, like, the TARDIS appeared in front of you right now?
I totally go on an adventure.
Geronimo!
Spoilers!
So because we found the common ground of Doctor Who, our uncertainty was lowered. And therefore, that is proof of the theory.
Theory number 5.
The fifth theory of today is called social information processing of Joseph Walter. This one's a little bit complex. We'll do our best. Page 121 of the textbook reads, "Chances are, social networking is part of your life too. Consider the technological advances you've seen in your time. If you're a typical college student, you probably remember a time when you didn't have text messaging or Facebook to get a hold of a friend. Perhaps you used instant messaging or email, but you probably have relatives who remember when those technologies weren't available either. From telephone to smartphone, the rapid changes in communication technology have frustrated comm scholars seeking to understand. To summarize this, it means the communication via technology and other forms of communication via anything other than speaking or nonverbal is evolving and is so different to communication, and it's changing human history, basically, in my opinion. But here's an example to explain more. In that theory, we were using text messaging. We were gossiping. Because, think about it, our social information processing was through the use of text message. It was an alternative form of communication, a very technologically advanced form of communication.
Theory number 6.
Number 6 is called the cognitive dissonance of Leon Festinger. Page 202 of the textbook clearly reads, Festinger hypothesized 3 mental mechanisms people use to ensure that their actions and attitudes are in harmony. Dissonance researchers refer to them as selective exposure, post-decision dissonance, and minimal justification. Most of us can spot at least one topic on that list where we struggle with an inconsistency between our thoughts and actions. To sum that up, it means when we like or do something that is inconsistent with our ideology or thoughts, we look for justification to continue doing or thinking what we feel guilty about. Example.
What's wrong?
There's a presidential candidate I want to vote for, but the media has made her to be this horrible human being. And yet, according to my research, she'd make a fine president.
Oh, really? Who's that?
If I tell you, will you promise not to judge me?
I promise.
Hillary Clinton.
What? I love Hillary Clinton.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah, she's awesome. The first female president. Like, that's so cool.
That is amazing. Like, can I just come to you constantly for reassurance away from guilt, basically?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for making me feel less guilty.
No problem.
As you can see, I felt guilty for my vote for Hillary Clinton. So therefore, because she wants to vote for Hillary Clinton too, I decided I'm going to go to her in order to make myself feel less guilty and therefore have justification.
Theory number 7.
Lucky number 7 is named Social Judgment of Muzaffar Sharif. Page 178 of the textbook reads, "We hear a message and immediately judge where it should be placed on the attitude scale in our minds. We weigh every new idea by comparing it with our present point of view. Summarize, this means we see something communicated to us, we react, and determine whether we commit to it or not, as in whether we care. The example is the following.
They're sending people that have lots of problems.
Oh, you
and they're
don't?
bringing those problems with us.
Right.
Oh my God.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak
What
to
is that
border
supposed to mean?
guards, and they
Yeah.
tell us what we're getting. And it
Ignorance
only
at its
makes common
finest.
sense.
This is 100% true. Ignorance at its finest. Like, I'm just going to say this about him. We don't agree with him, but we're not going to hate him. Okay?
Right.
As Hillary Clinton lovers, people apparently literally hate her, but we're not going to go stoop to their level and hate him.
Right, exactly.
we're just gonna not vote him in office, right?
Yeah, of course.
In this video, we socially judged Donald Trump's speech on Mexican people in pretty much all of Latin America. We did not agree, and we simply said we don't care, which means we have a non-commitment.
Theory number 8.
Number 8 is the agenda-setting theory of Maxwell McCombs and Donald Shaw. Page 276 of our textbook states, "The power of the press in America is a primordial one. It sets the agenda of public discussion, and this sweeping political power is unrestrained by any law. It determines what people will talk and think about, an authority that in other nations is reserved for tyrants, priests, parties, and mandarins. To sum that up, it means we have an agenda, an idea, whatever agenda we agree with, we will watch certain news stations in order to appear to our ideology. Here's an example."
I win. They're going back. They're going back.
What?
Really?
I don't understand this.
People really cheering about this?
I don't understand this.
What?
Syria it's in heck. Syria is not good right now. What does Hillary got to say? I'm curious.
Now, look, we're facing the worst refugee crisis since the end of World War II.
Yes.
I think the United States has to do more, and I would like to see us move from what is a good start of 10,000
Right on, Hillary.
to 65,000.
You're my girl, Hillary.
Yes.
To put into place the mechanisms for vetting the people that we would take in, looking to really emphasize some of those who are most vulnerable, a lot of the persecuted religious minorities, including
Yes,
Christians,
Hillary, you my girl.
and some who have been
She'll make such a great president. Hillary Clinton
You know, this is
2016, right?
Yes,
And
2016.
the Vice President has to
Yes.
sort this out. He's been so open and
So in this theory, me and her, both as liberals, essentially have our own agenda that the Syrian refugees should be allowed in the United States. And we completely disagreed with Trump because that conservative media basically would agree with him. But we would totally agree with Hillary Clinton because that is our liberal agenda. That's their conservative agenda of Donald Trump saying, send them home.
Theory number 9.
The ninth theory we're going to talk about is semiotics of Roland Barthes. Page 327 of our text reads, "Semiology, or semiotics as it is better known in America, is concerned with anything that can stand for something else. Barthes was interested in signs that are seemingly straightforward, but that subtly communicate ideological or connotative meaning and perpetuate the dominant values of society. As such, they are deceptive." Now, what that means is the fact that when you look at a sign, it does have a straightforward meaning. For example, the rainbow flag. What do you think of? You think of homosexuality. However, there's more to it than that. There's gay pride. There's lots of things. An example of semiotics is in this video. Nothing in Paris. You read about that, right?
Yeah, it's really devastating. All those people lost their lives. It's really sad.
You know what I did to show my activism and support for peace for the world and Paris?
What?
I changed my profile photo with the color of the French flag. Red, white, and blue, just like us.
Really?
Yes.
You changed a photo, and that's supposed to solve anything?
Yes. I really think it is going to show that world peace is needed. Stop that evil.
But it's just a picture, though, on social media. What does that do anything? Like, it doesn't do
It
anything.
shows that we care.
Okay, whatever.
When you think about the picture of the French flag colors on Facebook, some people think, oh, that's just changing a picture. But obviously, me and her disagreed. She thought it was just a picture. I strongly felt like, from the semiotic theory perspective, that it was supposed to support peace, stop ISIS, bring world peace.
And finally, theory number, guess. 10.
The 10th and final theory is the cultivation theory of George Gerbner. In page 363 of our textbook, it reads, "Gerbner regarded television as the dominant force in shaping modern society. Gerbner was convinced that TV's power comes from the symbolic content of real-life dramas shown hour after hour, week after week. At its root, television is society's institutional storyteller, and as society's stories give a coherent picture of what exists, what is important, what is related to, and what is right. This one means that when you constantly watch something on television, something of a similar theme, then it can shape your views on certain things. One big example of this is this. What, you forgive that guy? He's a jerk. He did horrible things. How could you forgive him? I don't understand.
The monks used to say that revenge is like a two-headed rat viper. While you watch your enemy go down, you're being poisoned yourself.
That's cute.
Really?
But this isn't Air Temple preschool. It's the real world.
Now that I know he's out there, now that I know we can find him, I feel like
Revenge is bad, though.
Katara, you do have a choice. Forgiveness.
Yes, you have
That's the
forgiveness.
same as doing nothing.
No, it's not.
Forgiveness is not
It's
doing
easy to
nothing.
do nothing. But it's hard to
It
forgive.
is hard to
It's
forgive.
not just hard. It's impossible.
It's not impossible to forgive.
I forgive you.
Oh, that's beautiful. She forgave that abusive woman. So beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Disney.
Humility, spirituality, understanding. You've been
Using
living in
his
fear
words.
of me all these years. But I've only been searching for you, so I tell you that I forgive you.
That's so beautiful. He forgave him.
What? I would not forgive him.
Why?
He lost his legs. He can't even walk on the beach with his wife. Why would you?
But, like, you have to forgive. You have to move on. You can't just be bitterly angry.
Whatever.
So my cultivation theory was talking about forgiveness. I've watched a lot of TV shows that preach be forgiving, basically. It helps you not be bitterly angry. It helps you move on. Through the TV shows I've watched, I've become a very forgiving person, which is proof that the cultivation theory exists. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to learn about communication theory and how it can apply to our lives. It helped apply to my life, and I've learned, and so have you. Take the time and see how these theories can apply to your life as well. Now, I'd like to give credit to my friend Brianna Bobbitt for being one of the characters in my videos. I would also like to give credit to Annie Moore for being in my videos. I would also like to give complete credit to Jennifer Hughes for actually filming some of the videos. Thank you to all of you. Thank you for making this possible, and I hope you all have learned. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.